Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning. The sun is shining, the coffee is brewing, and your alarm clock is completely silent. You are not rushing to beat traffic. You are not preparing for a stressful 9-to-5 meeting. You are waking up simply because you have slept enough and you are about to spend your day doing exactly what you want to do. For most people, this sounds like a distant dream reserved for the traditional retirement age of 65. But for a growing community of people around the world, this is their reality in their 40s, 30s, or even their 20s. Welcome to the concept of FIRE. That stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. Today we are going to dive deep into exactly what this movement is, the mathematical principles that make it possible, and most importantly, the exact dollar amounts you need to invest every single month into a FTSE All-World Index fund to reach the ultimate milestone of $1 million. Let us start by demystifying the FIRE concept. Financial independence, retire early is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is an extremely rational, math-based approach to personal finance. At its core, FIRE is about maximizing your savings rate, living intentionally below your means, and investing the difference into low-cost, broadly diversified index funds. The goal is to accumulate a portfolio of investments large enough that the returns generated by that portfolio can cover your living expenses indefinitely. Once you hit that point, working becomes entirely optional. But how do you know when you have enough? The cornerstone of the FIRE movement relies on a piece of academic research known as the Trinity Study, which was published by professors at Trinity University in 1998. They looked at historical stock and bond market data to determine a safe withdrawal rate for retirees. What they found is widely known today as the 4% rule. The rule essentially states that if you invest your money in a diversified portfolio of mostly stocks and a smaller percentage of bonds, you can comfortably withdraw 4% of your portfolio's value in your first year of retirement, adjust that amount for inflation every year after that, and have a very high statistical probability of never running out of money over a 30-year period. Because of this 4% rule, calculating your target FIRE number is actually incredibly simple. You just take your annual living expenses and multiply them by 25. Let us say you calculate that you need $40,000 a year to live a comfortable, happy life. 40,000 multiplied by 25 equals $1 million. That $1 million is your FIRE number. Once you have it, 4% of that is $40,000 a year, theoretically forever. Now, saving $1 million sounds intimidating, almost impossible if you are just relying on putting cash in a standard bank account. This is where the accumulation phase comes in, and specifically a strategy we call a PAC. PAC stands for Periodic Accumulation Plan, often referred to in the United States as dollar cost averaging. A PAC is a strategy where you invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, usually every month, regardless of what the stock market is doing. If the market is hitting all-time highs, you buy. If the market is crashing and everyone is panicking, you buy even more because the shares are essentially on sale. This completely removes human emotion from investing, which is historically the #1 reason average investors lose money. But what exactly are we buying with this monthly accumulation plan? Picking individual stocks is incredibly risky. Most professional fund managers cannot consistently beat the market, so you and I should not try to either. Instead, the FIRE community relies on broad market index funds, and one of the absolute best vehicles on the planet for this is a FTSE All-World ETF. When you buy a FTSE All-World ETF, you are not buying one company. You are buying a tiny slice of nearly 4,000 companies across roughly 50 developed and emerging market countries. You are buying Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla, but you are also buying Toyota in Japan, Samsung in South Korea, Nestle in Switzerland, and Taiwan Semiconductor. It is the ultimate bet on the long-term growth of human innovation and the global economy. Why is this specific index so crucial for the FIRE strategy? Because of diversification. If one country faces an economic downturn or one specific tech sector crashes, your entire portfolio does not get wiped out. You are mathematically guaranteed to capture the average return of global capitalism. Historically, over the long term, global equities have returned an average of roughly 7 to 9% per year before inflation. For the sake of our mathematical calculations today, we are going to use a steady 8% average annual return. Remember, the market does not give you exactly 8% every year. Some years it is up 20%, some years it is down 10%, but over the span of decades, the average smooths out to around that 8% mark. So let us get to the numbers. You want to reach $1 million. You have set up your automated monthly periodic accumulation plan, and you are buying a FTSE All-World ETF. How many dollars do you actually need to put in every single month to hit that $1 million finish line? The answer depends entirely on your time horizon. Let us look at a few different scenarios, utilizing the incredible power of compound interest. which is when your money makes money, and then that new money makes even more money. Scenario number 1 is the traditional, slow and steady approach. Let us say you are 25 years old and you want to hit $1 million by the time you are 55, giving you a 30-year investing horizon. Assuming an 8% average annualized return, you need to invest exactly $671 every single month. If you do this consistently after 30 years, you will cross the $1 million mark. But here is the most mind-blowing part of this calculation. Out of that $1 million, you only actually contributed $241,000 out of your own pocket. The remaining $758,000 is pure compound interest. That is the true magic of starting early. But let us say you are more ambitious. You do not want to wait 30 years. You want to reach financial independence in 20 years. This is a very common timeline for people who discover the FIRE movement in their late 20s or early 30s. To reach $1 million in 20 years at an 8% return, your monthly contribution needs to increase to $1,698 a month. This requires a much higher savings rate, meaning you have to highly optimize your living expenses. You might need to drive an older car, live in a smaller house, or drastically cut down on dining out. Over those 20 years, you will contribute a total of about $407,000, and the market will generate roughly $593,000 in interest. Now let us move to scenario 3, the aggressive FIRE approach. You want to be completely done in 15 years. To go from $0 to $1 million in just a decade and a half, you need to aggressively invest $2,890 every single month. For most average earners, this requires not just cutting expenses to the bone, but actively increasing their income through rapid career promotions, side hustles, or starting a business. Finally, let us look at the extreme FIRE scenario. You want to hit $1 million in just 10 years. Maybe you are a very high-income earner, like a software engineer or a specialized medical professional, and you want out of the rat race in a single decade. To achieve this, you need to invest $5,466 into your FTSE All-World pack every single month. In this rapid 10-year scenario, you are relying much more on your own brute force savings than on compound interest. You will contribute roughly $655,000 of your own money, with the market only having enough time to add about $345,000 in growth. Hearing these numbers, especially the shorter time frames, might feel overwhelming. $5,000 a month is more than most people make in an entire month. But the beauty of the FIRE movement is that it scales to your personal reality. You do not strictly need $1 million if your expenses are naturally lower. If you plan to retire in a cheaper cost of living area or a completely different country, your annual expenses might only be $20,000 a year. Under the 4% rule, that brings your target FIRE number down to just $500,000, which completely cuts all of those monthly contribution numbers we just discussed in half. The FTSE All-World ETF is the perfect vehicle for this journey because it demands absolutely zero effort once your plan is set up. There is no checking financial news at 6 in the morning. There is no analyzing complex quarterly earnings reports. There is no stress about picking the wrong individual stock. You simply automate your bank account to transfer your meticulously calculated amount to your brokerage account every month, buy the entire world stock market, and go live your life. What FIRE really teaches us is that money is not just a tool to buy more consumer goods. Money is a tool to buy back your time. Every dollar you spend on something you do not truly value is pushing your freedom further away. Conversely, every dollar you funnel into your periodic accumulation plan is buying you a future Tuesday morning where the alarm clock does not ring. The math is undisputed. The historical data supports the strategy. The only variables left are your savings rate, your consistency, and your patience. Whether it takes you 10 years, 20 years, or 30 years to reach that $1 million portfolio, the peace of mind that comes with being on the path to financial independence is something you will feel immediately. Start calculating your numbers today, set up your automated investment plan, and let the global economy do the heavy lifting for your future.